morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Sola Rogers.
Good day, my name is Dolupo Balogun. Warm welcome to the bar this very interesting afternoon. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. If you're just joining us for the very first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is where we give you all the gist about sports, entertainment, politics, and everything else in between. And there's been a few things that we're going to be we have been talking about for the last couple of days. There's still updates on it. Yesterday there was an announcement on basically how people get what's the word now? How the a reform of rebate that you're going to get from transportation for people traveling around the country during this Christmas period. Now, the government has now officially come out to put out the modalities, basically, who's affecting, who's not affecting, who the people that are going to enjoy from this. We're going to be talking about it. Also, there is the Nigeria jail. Oh no, sorry. The Nigeria Correctional Service. I mean, that's what they're called now. Sorry, not jail.
They were never called jails.
I don't know. You just
Not serious.
I don't know. That was just the first thing that came to my mind. Anyway, the Nigeria Correctional Service is are they really correctional? But anyway, they announced they kind of have good news and bad news. Let's put it. Yeah, there's good news, there's bad news. You kind of think that there's good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Then, as announced or as promised, the Port-harcourt Refinery is on. Now, I have a few questions though. Don't mind me and my questions, but I really do have a few questions to know what exactly is the issue. Is it like the Dangote refinery that was commissioned in May and they did not get their field till November or December? Was it? Yeah, it was December. No, it was December. So, do you understand? I just genuinely asking, like, is this one now? Is it going to work? And then maybe it's until June that it's going to work. Just wanted to know. Just some clarification. But anyway, let's get right into the show. As we're starting with the places where people. Number one, first things first. I actually confirmed it. So, to get train rides at the Lagos Ibadan train service, the Warri Takwe train service, and the Abuja Kaduna train service, it is free. I went through their websites today to get train tickets. Not like I was going to any of these places, but it basically, in fact, that's the first thing that pops up when you open this website, literally announcing to you that from today up until January 4th, they're going to be having free train rides for everybody. And I think it is very, very beautiful. Like I said yesterday, even if it is just only the train rides that get it, there is, as much as we're a lot of people in this country, some of us will probably never enjoy it because it's not our route or something. But the truth is that there are a large chunk of people that are going to enjoy it. It is going to be a level of respite for a lot of people. And I'm not even saying that just because maybe some people are poor and they can't afford it. Please, if I was going to Ibadan and the train station is closed, and where they're going to drop me in Ibadan, the train station is closed, I will gladly do it. Is it the amount of money for the train service? No. At the moment, it is more expensive or not. It's actually a more convenient way of travel than cars. Even in your own private vehicles, it is actually a more convenient way. You don't have to do anything. But anyway, like I said, so it's not even about me saying that maybe it's for people that cannot afford normally or anything. It literally is going to affect everybody that gets on that train. It's going to be free of charge. I have not been to the train stations, but I also hope that there are like banners there as well that announces these things, because I think that I will not be surprised if um, a few Nigerians, unscrupulous Nigerians, take advantage of some people, because it's very, very possible that some people have not heard about this. It's very possible. Some people might not listen to the news, or so you're just going to the train station to buy tickets as usual. So you might not know. I like the fact that on their website where to buy ticket is the first thing that pops out at you. So that one you can't say you don't know. But it's very possible not to hear the news and you just want to go and buy like over the counter, and some people will still collect money from people. I don't trust human beings that much.
Yeah, talking about people who might want to take advantage of it, it's something just popped in my mind. I remember a couple of years ago when people used to queue up at the US embassy. You know, to get the appointment was hell. It still is for a lot of people. And, you know, after getting the appointment to get visa, or you're not even getting the visa yet, most people would go to the embassy early. Some will even sleep there overnight. But do you know that some people actually turned it into a business?
Mm-hmm.
So they were giving out numbers that year in the embassy, in the US embassy. They're giving out numbers, tally numbers, as we used to call them then. And let's say they want to give out 100 visas that year, or 100 people access into the embassy. The tallies are numbered 1 to 100. So it was on first come, first serve basis.
First serve basis.
Some Nigerians will go there early. They're not going anywhere. They don't even have a passport, and pick those numbers and join the queue. So for those of you who come at the normal time that you feel is normal, you get there and the queue is already over 100 people. Then they start selling the numbers, they start selling their positions and their spaces for people to come to the front. Something that the embassy did not do to make money. They're already making money off the visas. Do you understand? So that's how low people will go. And to them, they're making a quick buck. Oh yeah, they're just trying to make money. It's they call it the hustle. It's the boy. I at times some of those things are just downright criminal, because you're exploiting and extorting money from your fellow citizens. It's to me, I am not going to downplay the possibility of people using this opportunity to fleece people who are not aware.
Mm-hmm.
And even those that are aware, because of the expected crowd, because people will come, because there's just 2 trips to and from, you know, in the morning and afternoon, to and fro. There are 2 trips.
There are 2. I thought they increased it.
It's 2. I heard the minister say 2. If they have increased it, whatever number of trips that it is, if it's 4, if it's 5, if it's 10, it's going to be packed.
Packed. Oh yes,
Because it's free, and even people would have paid. It's not like they don't want to pay. But what I was trying to bring out is that people could take advantage of that. And now this one has to do with not touts this time. The other time I was referring to touts. Now, staff of the railway.
Yeah, that brings something if you want.
You want to get on board. We can fast track you. Like, it's free now. How do you stop people or choose who goes into the first class cabins and the business class cabins and all of that?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you understand?
Maybe if you buy online, yeah.
But it's all free though. So online,
that's
maybe
you would have booked it
for
already.
That spot, yeah. So these are some of the things that we need to consider. And another thing that I've heard a lot of people criticize this and say, didn't this government say there was no more palliatives, and why are they doing this? And I said to myself, every chance you get to show a human face, for people to, you know, enjoy a bit of being Nigerian, let's take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you must realize one thing, yeah? There's always a surge during weekends, and especially during the Yuletide, especially during festive periods in Nigeria. If it's the Ileya, which is the Muslim festival, and the season for Muslims to travel, even non-Muslims travel too anyway. Once just a public holiday, there's always a surge in transportation. People want to go out of state, out of town to, chill, hang out, party, whatever. And for them to forego their 100% income, we're not even talking profit now, we're talking the entire income for over this period where they are supposed to make the most money, I think is a big sacrifice on the part of the government, because this is them saying, we understand that you guys have to travel and you don't have to pay through your noses
to do all this.
And this, I feel, is a big deal.
Yes, I actually do think it's a big deal, really. Like I said, any respite people would have, you might think that it is small, but to some people, it goes a whole long way. Now, moving on to the idea of getting buses, 50% rebate on buses and all that. Now, it is official. They have also now announced the modalities of this things. First things first is that there are 5 transport companies that are working with the federal government on this, and there are 28 different routes on this. Also, the 5 transport companies are God is Good, GIG Motors, Chisco Transport, The Young Shall Grow, God Bless Ezenwa, and Area Motor. Now, there's also an update that for GIG, there are going to be 2 different places they're going to be moving from their terminal at Jibowu and another at Aja. Now, there are going to be different routes. I would just want to put this out there for, in case you are going through this route, you should actually catch what's it called? So I think that a lot of the road transport workers would probably lose a lot of money on this one, because a lot more people would rather do 50% of this. But also, I think that a lot of these people are actually also safer. They have neater and nicer transport services, vehicles and all that. So now, for people going to Lagos to Kano, Lagos to Abuja, keep in mind, all these buses are all 51-seater buses. So Lagos to Abuja, Lagos to Kaduna to Zaria, Lagos to Jos, Lagos to Enugu, Lagos to Onisha, Lagos to Owerri, Lagos to Aba, Lagos to Abakaliki, Lagos to Nsukka, Lagos to Uyo, Lagos to Port-harcourt, Onisha to Kano, Onisha to Lagos, Onisha to Jos, Onisha to Abuja, Onisha to Sokoto, Onisha to Gombe, and Odisha to Zaki Biam. Port-harcourt through Owerri to Aba to Kano, Aba through Owerri to Abuja, Aba to Lagos, Abuja to Sokoto, Abuja to Lagos, Abuja through Onisha to Owerri to Port-harcourt, Abuja to Enugu and Abakaliki, Abuja to Gombe, and Abuja to Kano.
Yeah, so a bit of background and explanation more on this whole arrangement. We sit down here and we analyze and at times criticize, and also most times we prefer solutions. But one of the things that we've always criticized is how the cost of transportation goes up when there's a surge.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the year, like a period that we're in now, this Christmas period that we're in. However, the transporters had a meeting with the Minister of Transportation and the federal government team, and one of the things that they complained about and why there's always an increase in the cost, because I always felt, they're taking advantage of people, is that they say that most times their trips are only viable one way.
Why? How? I don't understand.
So when they take people to all these routes that you have mentioned, they usually return to Lagos or to the other cities empty.
But don't they do it normally? Isn't that the whole point?
No, normally they would wait, because it's a normal two-way thing. Like there are people going back and forth.
Okay.
Like if you're going to look at it, people who will be going to, let's take the eastern part of Nigeria, the southeastern part of Nigeria now. The bulk of the people who would leave today, tomorrow, are not coming back the next day. And most of the people who are there are not traveling to this
coming
side
this
of town.
way
They will
At
stay
least
back.
not yet.
They will stay back until
Until
January.
maybe Christmas or Jan. Oh, okay.
Do you get?
Oh, now
So
I get
they're
what
saying
you're
that
saying.
when they do that, they are forced to travel back to Lagos or
Empty.
Benin or empty. So what the passengers don't know is that you're actually paying for a return ticket.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
talked
you're doing.
together. You
That's
never
what they're
got
charging
on.
you for.
Oh,
So whether
wow.
you're not going to use it back, and they can't run at a loss, so they make you pay at the end of the year. So when you're in Kaduna and you're going to Abuja and you get to the bus park and they tell you it's now 4,000 and maybe it was 2,000 before, you're angry. No, now it was 2,000 yesterday. Yeah, it's now 4,000. They know that you are most likely not returning, and their boss has to come back to pick more people again. They know that it's more or less a one-way thing. So that's one of the reasons why.
Okay, makes sense. I
Transportation
never
goes
thought
up.
of it that way, but actually does make sense.
Yeah. So we said we should put it out there so that you guys would also see it from their side.
Their own side as well.
That's one of the things.
Okay.
Then again, they've also, said they're going to follow through with, the normal transportation system that they have. But my charge to the transporters and you, the passengers that will use this service, is that please ensure that they do not overload these buses. You see, transporters are very funny people. Not like the 50% they're getting for you is all they are getting. They're going to get paid the other 50% by the government.
Yeah, it's not free. They're not doing you a favor.
But because you're paying 50%, don't let them overload. Don't let them chance you. You get, because your 50% is still money.
Yeah.
And your government is actually paying.
You're paying for it. So it's not like they're not getting paid. They're getting paid either way. They're just not getting everything from you.
I've seen this kind of scenarios when people are like, oh, wow, because someone else has paid for it, then they tend to treat the people who are the beneficiaries
a funny way. Yeah.
So don't let that happen.
Yes, I think I agree. I agree with that. Now, quickly moving on from that. I think we're done with that. Yeah. So quickly moving on from that before we move on to some other very good news, actually. This is also good news, as it has now been announced that the Third Mainland Bridge has now been reopened after repairs.
Yeah, the Third Mainland Bridge was not completely shut. The access ramps to it were shut down completely, and it's been fixed now, especially the one that takes you to Yaba.
Yeah, the Adekule, then the one that goes to Adeniji Adele as well was actually shut. So it has now been open. I think this makes sense, even if they were not done yet. At this time, especially going to Lagos Island. Oh my God. Someone was asking me this morning, are you still going to? I'm like, what? At this time, you don't want to be in those, that kind of access. But it definitely would ease things a little bit. It definitely would at this point. Just wanted to put that out there. Now, moving on from that, I'm moving on to another good news, as there's been an announcement that the Port-harcourt Refinery, since I was born, I've heard about this Port-harcourt Refinery, but I'm not sure I ever heard it work. But like, I've never heard that any refinery in Nigeria ever worked. I just knew that they just said that Nigeria's refinery, but it never worked. Now, there's now been an announcement that the Port-harcourt Refinery has now recommenced its operation. I know I'd seen a couple of videos. I think I'd seen two separate videos 2 different times. There was one where I think an engineer was explaining how they were turning on some transformers and all that to power how they were trying to power some substations. Yes, so I actually saw, and I think that they put out a lot of information of how the work was going on there. Now, it has now been announced that the Port-harcourt refining company in Rivers State has recommenced operation in line with the federal government's promise that they're going to start before December 2020, before the end of December 2023.
All the glory must be to God. But you see, the praise should go to President Buhari, who was the former president, the former Minister of Petroleum, and his entire team. We have heard about TAM, turnaround maintenance, for all these Nigerian-owned refineries for decades. It's been ongoing, Even we that experienced refinery working, said, what did we really gain? I beg. Well, we gained, though. God forgive me. but it's a welcome development. Now, again, a note of caution. We might not see a significant reduction in the pump price of fuel.
Yeah. I think it's more about
the demand for dollar
yeah.
to import all the byproducts of crude that we export would reduce.
Yeah, it's more of about the economy than the price exactly.
There's a lot of forex that Nigeria pumps into importing, diesel, kerosene, aviation fuel, petrol, and all the other byproducts. But here now, this refinery is now number 2 refinery coming on stream would mitigate that, which on the long run would have a ripple effect on the Nigerian economy.
Yeah,
so that it frees up forex for other importers.
I probably don't even need as much forex. That's what it basically means. For me, my own question is, I don't know if there's anybody out there listening or watching that's going to answer, or maybe in a few days, maybe there will be more clarity about it. Now they're saying that is recommencing. Are they starting right now? Remember, like I said earlier, about how the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, had commissioned the Dangote Refinery, but it is just like a week or two ago that the first barge of crude oil got in, meaning that there was still a lot of work still going on. It wasn't ready as at when it was commissioned. It's only in Nigeria that you hear that they commission things that are not ready. Like, I don't understand. Don't even let me start, because we commission airports that don't start. We commission roads that are not completed. We commission all sorts of things, and I'm like, what's your point exactly?
Yeah, this is a flaw on the part of Nigerian politicians. It's a big flaw, but the need to, have a legacy project, the need to immortalize yourself and your government pushes politicians to do these things. You see, you cannot commission a project that is not functional. It is completely wrong. Commissioning the Dangote Refinery when it was commissioned, it's completely
wrong. See, I will take for example, Lagos Ibadan Expressway. It wasn't commissioned. He said it was obvious that they were trying a lot of things to do to commission it before the former president left. He didn't commission it. I think he's now done. I'm not sure if it's completely done. I know that the Bayadh axis, I'm not sure it's completely done.
We actually need to go and look at that thing.
The truth is that if it gets commissioned maybe in a month or two, nobody can come out and say it wasn't in the era of
even if they say you will document because people always say all sorts of funny things.
It's not possible that do you understand? It's absolutely not possible for you to say that it was not when, because I've been seeing a lot of people have been alleging a lot of things. Yeah. Or you will say that whether President Buhari commissioned the second Niger bridge or not.
Okay.
If it was in his era, oh God, you hear a lot of people say no. Somebody wrote the plan. Somebody drew. Let's not. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying, that whether you commission it or not. It's
Nigeria's money, so I don't know why people always think it's such a big deal.
Whether you commission it or not, you cannot, like this Port-harcourt Refinery, even President Tinubu cannot say that was his handiwork. This has been going on, I think about 2-3 years ago, that there was actually some money that was, there was some money that was actually put in deliberately for this thing to work, and they actually stuck to the time. So that's what I'm saying, that why do we always feel a need, and then I don't even think that there's a need for a ceremony around a lot of things.
Even if you're going to have a ceremony, this is what you should do. And I noticed that Lagos State does that thing a lot. Take the Blue Line, for instance. Of course, sadly, the president came to commission that one too. But one of the things that they should have done is what they eventually did. Any rail system that you commission, that you start actually, must run for a certain number of hours before you go commercial.
Oh, yeah.
It's a standard practice.
It's a standard, yeah. They have
That is the system that should be adopted for every project.
every project, so that
you
let's
know that this thing is functional.
It's functional,
okay.
yeah.
Then come and do all the fanfare and the razzmatazz and the glitz and glam that you want to do. Make all the noise, do all the PR that you want to do. But stop commissioning projects that are not functional. It's a no-no, complete no-no.
It doesn't make sense. So just putting this out there, the president, talking about the president, has departed Abuja for Lagos for his Christmas and New Year break.
I pity
So
Ikoyi people.
everybody living Ikoyi, shout out to you. No, he's not going to Durham Barrack.
No, he will go to his house in Ikoyi. He has a brand new house in Ikoyi.
Oh,
I'm sure he's
okay.
going to his house.
Shout out to people.
But let me not say, Sha, you never can tell.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
Sha.
know, because there's talks of renovating.
Okay,
Durham
yeah,
Barracks
there's
and
conversation
everything.
of
I
the
don't know
renovation
if it's the
of
presidential or the vice presidential quarters there, but bottom line, the way I see him, I like go in house.
Anyway, Sha.
new house.
Shout out to you people that are living around that area.
Eh,
Anybody that wants to do nonsense, try
Ikoyi,
nonsense.
Bodilon is a no-no.
You shall be carried. Just
you know?
wanted to put this out there anyway.
Yeah.
So it's official. The holidays are like really in full swing. Now, moving on from that, before we go on to another very interesting topic, sort of like good or bad news. I just saw this. I think it's part of our headlines. I'm not sure, but the video of that I think is the Lagos PRO that posted of two people and location where they produce fake drinks. It's a conversation we're having like for the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound naive. I get it, but the little that I know, I'm not saying that it's a good thing to adulterate or make fake of these things. But isn't the least that you can do is produce these things in at least a reasonable and clean environment? For anybody that has seen this video, it is disgusting to say the least. It's almost like, it's not even a gutter, it's like a canal.
Yeah, a building that doesn't have a roof, that's flooded and has stagnant water, and that's where they wade through to manufacture or produce this fake wine and wines and drinks that they bottle and sell as real to you and me.
I don't know what
We must take this matter serious. We said it yesterday. We said the day before yesterday. They must not leave it to NAFDAC alone. The Food and Drugs Administration Commission or whatever.
We actually also need to be
the
vigilant.
Police did something super yesterday by stopping these guys and investigating, and of course they confessed and they have them and they actually showed them their factory.
Oh God, it's disgusting.
So that's what we're saying. It's at the point where one has to be careful. I saw a guy tweeting something that was in my head, and it was like, anybody coming home from London, please buy drinks.
Buy drinks.
We will pay you people. Because now you're not even sure if any store in Nigeria does not have adulterated it's produce and drinks and items. It's so crazy. Now, a quick tip for you guys, although this might be it might not be 100%. When you buy red wine, please, this period, look for a corked one.
Yeah. It's probably more difficult to.
I've seen them do it. We bought a corked one, but you see, the cork was cut.
Okay.
They don't have the technology. Maybe they have not invested in it to push the cork all the way.
All
It's
the
pressure.
way. Yeah, it's pressure.
So
So yeah, it's probably more. It's probably easy. Oh, not probably. Is more difficult to
Yeah.
actually adulterate cocks than the one with
But the one with the screw cap,
Screw-
a lot
oh.
of people are doing that now, so please avoid them. You know, the cousins and the brothers and the neighbors. Just
my
avoid them for
God.
now, until the manufacturers can sort themselves out.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that is it. Also, I think manufacturers, a lot more manufacturers should put out a lot of I think
If you buy your
put out
spirits-
more adverts and announce to people how people can find out some of these things. If possible, they're like some now everybody has a smartphone. If it's all put in some form of sticker
Put it
where
on-
people
we said
had a
put the
barcode
barcode. We
or
said it
something,
already.
you
Put
know,
it.
just put it there.
If you buy your favorite spirits or your whiskeys in Nigeria, most times they are they have stoppers.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy them in the UK, for instance, they don't have stoppers. It's just like a regular bottle, like this water bottle
Mm-hmm.
that I'm holding here. But the ones in Nigeria, because of adulteration, they started putting those stoppers there. But of course, our people started trying to fake it. So what they fail to do is that they don't have the technology properly. So when you pour a drink with a stopper,
It's not very easy to pop out. So once you start seeing it spoil, or no, you should
It's
be
stuck.
very,
Yeah,
you
no.
should be.
96% of the time it's a fake one.
Mm-hmm.
The original one, all you need to do is just shake it and pour. It will pour. You know, another tip for you guys. I learned that from Dolupo. She knows a lot about all these.
How? Well, so
spirits,
excuse me.
liquor. She's a
Wait, on
connoisseur.
camera, I don't understand what you're talking about. When?
It's just I'm promoting your.
Don't
expertise.
promote anything. Don't promote
Oh, I
lies.
shouldn't let them know. Okay.
No,
Sorry.
don't promote lies.
It's not lies. Everybody knows.
Those
Like, there
what?
are old videos of
Of
Boomba
what?
online. So
Of what? Of what?
Of the Boomba online.
Yeah, and that's what happened. So how does that translate to?
You are a connoisseur. You have experience.
I'm not
in
even
these
good.
things.
I'm not even.
I
Good.
learned a lot of those things from you.
I see. It shows.
You know. So,
Coming from the person that does not have a cup. Okay.
oh, you don't have a cup here means what?
Any which
There are
way,
old
we're
videos
moving on.
online,
We're
don't talk.
moving on from that. We're definitely moving on from that, and we're going to news coming from the Nigeria Correctional Service, where they have now come out to say that they have recorded 0 jail attacks, basically 0 jailbreaks in 2023. I think that is very, very, very commendable, especially with the spate of jailbreaks that we saw in like a year or two. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. Don't even let me say what was going to happen, but it was a lot.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
And you know, every time people say something has not happened, I don't know. Maybe it's PTSD for me. As soon as I just start praying for you, like, oh, you should not have said this thing. You should have just kept quiet. Let us continue to cruise. But I think it's okay for the correctional services chairman or the leader or I don't know, the DG or what his position is, to have said it so that you see that they've made some progress. According to him, they've deployed technology and training and all sorts of things and all of that. So let's believe that this is the reason why.
Yeah.
I know that some of those jailbreaks were motivated by certain, you know, situations, and those situations are not in existence at the moment, and hopefully they will not be anymore. And they have over 250, I think they have 253 or 257 facilities across Nigeria, and not a single jailbreak or jail attack happened over the course of 2023. 2023 is still live, but at least as of today, as of this afternoon, nothing like that has happened. So kudos to them for achieving this. But please, these correctional centers, you know, the minimum, maximum, and the whatever prisons,
Medium.
all of them require upgrades and fortification.
Now, still talking about the correctional service, another news coming from there, even though I don't think it's it's actually not very good news, is where they have also now come to say, because I think that these people too are under a lot of pressure, especially when you hear the figures that I'm about to reel out, and they are not wondering, like, so there's really no need to be monitoring and safeguarding as many people as they are. Why? Because they're saying that 69% of inmates in these correctional centers in 253 across the country are awaiting trial. So according to them, there are about 77,849 people in correctional service around the country. And out of that number, 53,836 of them are awaiting trial.
That's a high number, very high.
Almost 70%.
Yeah, approximately 70% of the people who are incarcerated are still waiting for judgment. And they say justice delayed is justice denied. It's what we grew up with. Everybody knows it. So these people are being denied justice, and it's their fundamental right. They must know. Now, they're not guilty until proven. So we cannot assume that those,
all those people are guilty.
50,000 plus people are guilty. Some of them, are going to get off with a fine. Some of them are going to be given.
Some of them have probably even spent more than
the maximum sentence for whatever crime they
had committed, alleged to have committed, even if they even committed those crimes. Now, my issue is, yes, it is one thing we're talking about the inmates. Another conversation where I'm going is that these people in the Nigeria Correctional Service are put under pressure because there are more people than necessary that they have to safeguard.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work for them, and it's a lot of expenses for the federal government.
It's a lot of expenses.
Because you also need to
let
feed
people
them.
Go to the house, let them go and feed themselves.
And clothe them, and all of that. So it's...
You have to provide health care for them, provide all sorts of things for them. So when we really look at it, it's kind of penny wise, pound foolish in my dictionary. And what does this whole thing come back to? It comes back to the judiciary. What is the judiciary doing? I think that, take for example, we said it was probably it's probably a multifaceted thing. But we saw how the new Minister of Interior came in and tried to get the private sector to pay for a lot of people that have fines that are not much, and there were large number of people that could just easily ease off, which made a lot of sense. Now this is now coming from, that's what the private sector and maybe the Ministry of Interior can do at the moment. Now it now goes back to the judiciary. How many of these people can be let go quickly?
Yeah, the two arms of government, well, in this scenario, that we need to speak to the judiciary
police
and the police. Some of these people are there because of the delay in investigation.
Yeah.
So prosecution will not happen until you have concluded your investigations, and this is not a good thing. So the police needs to really step up their game now. The other aspect, look, we've been advocating for it at the bar for years now. Maybe it's time to move some of our prisons, some of our courts to the prisons. Maybe once a week you have judges sit inside the prison. That way you rule out the issue of logistics and other security, other things that you need to get before you can move the people who are incarcerated from the prisons to the courthouse. So if the court comes to them, it could accelerate the justice process, So I think it's something that they just need to look for a way to, expedite action on this.
Any which way, so it makes sense. I hope that this actually, the judiciary finds something to do about this. This is shocking. From the Ministry of Justice to the Nigeria Judicial Council, these are things that they need to do. And speaking of which, I think the Senate had approved the appointment of 11 Supreme Court judges today. I think that is interesting news from them. Now, also, the Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the NNPP suit seeking to affirm Abba Yusuf as the governor of Kano State. So today was the day that everybody
a bit of
decided to speak.
Of an anticlimax of sorts, because, we have been following this. we saw prayer sessions were held by supporters of both
Yeah.
parties. A lot of talk. People traveled, to go and be a part of this landmark judgment and all of that. But now Supreme Court say that they will let us know. We thought.
No, I didn't think that. We all knew that there was not going to be judgment today. Now,
no,
all we just knew that today they were going to sit. Today they don't sit, and they will give a date that they're going to have the judgment.
They said they will communicate the date.
That's what they do now. They most likely communicate the date maybe a day or two before the judgment.
It's not good enough.
But it's obviously it's most likely not going to be this year anymore.
That's the problem. It's not.
But
good
still
enough.
wonderful. I think it's still interesting to look forward
it's
to.
Not. Everything should just end with 2023. Everything should end with 2023.
Okay. Anyway,
if Gawuna of APC becomes governor as declared by the Supreme Court, the next election will be a staggered election
for them as well. Yes. Yeah.
But they need to work on the constitution more, sha. And if if the
seriously,
Abba Yusuf,
seriously, you just have to go there. You just have
His
to go there.
Excellency, the governor. Where did I go? I'm here. The governor of Kano, is returned. Then of course everything stays normal.
Anyway, moving on from that, it's interesting how a lot of people have come to attack the lead pastor of House on the Rock, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, after it was alleged that he had acted untoward when a car had hit his car. A yellow bus had hit his car, and he had broken the glass, and the glass shattered and injured some people in Lagos traffic. There have been a lot of videos that have been posted. Not one of it there's been any one of him in it. There's one, a lot of people posted their injuries. Then another one that is circulating now is someone that they claim is his PA. Don't know who his PA is, but the person seemed to be placating a few people, not saying whatever it is they're saying is a lie or anything, but it's what we see that we are reporting.
Yeah, we're at the bar talking about this now, and of course everybody is talking about it online too. Pastor Paul Adefarasin is trending. Pastor Paul is also trending, and it has to do with what Dolupo has described. Indeed, there is no picture or video of him, carrying out this act of violence and anger. But based on the evidence that everybody's going on about, if it is true, there's one thing that we must all realize, and I hope that especially Christians will learn this. Your pastors are human.
Yeah.
They are not Jesus Christ. They are not God.
Yeah. That's it. They
are not the Holy Spirit. They are human.
I get it. That's it for me.
You must realize this. You like to, romanticize the concept of having a daddy Gio,
a perfect person,
a pastor that is infallible, but no.
Yeah, that's it.
Shows you
that they're actually human. I think that the truth is that I remember I was having this conversation with my friend in the morning, and I said that if people find out that whatever he did was wrong, and maybe he needs to be invited by the police or whatever, they should go ahead. He's human like everybody else. I think that the best thing that I could have done for myself in the last couple of months or years is removing my faith and not attaching it to anybody. Not because the truth of it is that I'm not sure that I've ever really seen or I've been like under any pastor that has acted untoward. Truthfully, I have never. But I just come to realize that at the end of the day, we're all human at the end of the day. As much as, and I know that people will probably feel very disappointed. Is it bad? Was it a bad behavior? Oh, yes. But it is not bigger than if a regular person on the road did the exact same thing. That's it for me. It's the same way if maybe this thing wasn't right, or maybe if he had not done it, and you feel I was an eyewitness and I feel the need to come out to defend him. I would only defend him because I was there, and this is what happened, not on the fact that he's a pastor. Because I've seen a lot of people going on about that you don't talk about pastors like this. You don't. No. Let's. This is where we get it wrong, and that is where the problem lies. A lot of times we romanticize a lot of religion and forget that this person is also human.
Yeah. Again, it's going to be sad if what those people are saying actually happened. You know, it's going to be a very sad situation. And I actually hope that the police will do their job and, you know, bring him to book. Even if someone hits your car, you have no right to lay your hands or destroy anybody's property. That's the truth. Because the accident, it can be established that one was an accident and one was actually an intentional act that also affected
other people,
which is very dangerous. And again, it's even a bad thing to do, you know, for the body of Christ. But let's see how he's going to handle it. If I was Pastor Paul and this actually did happen, I would apologize.
Yeah, I think he should. At this point, he should.
I would reach out to everybody in that bus, every single one of them, offer my apologies personally, pick up their medical bills if there's anybody that requires that, and if possible, compensate them for the trauma and the drama that happened, if possible.
If possible, yeah. But really,
but we're on this.
Like
one.
I said, I do not agree that anybody should, whatever it says. The same way, there's been a lot of allegations all over, still talking about Diddy, and now I think Pastor T.D. Jakes has been dragged into this matter. And I've seen a lot of people, and I really, really was still having this conversation this morning. And I'm like that, as much as whatever allegations might be, it might be sad, but I don't know. I will not be surprised. And the only reason why, if anything about anybody will not surprise me, is the only thing that I had in my head is that they're human after all. That's it.
So we're also going to stay on top of that one. There's a lot of talk about Puff Daddy and TD Jakes and all sorts of stories and all of that. You know, we won't dwell on it, but
yeah, because there isn't a lot of conversation around that yet.
It's still foggy and all of that. But again, I also like to plead caution. It's always better to err on the side of caution. Like, don't jump on it.
Don't jump on it yet
until it is clear. You know, because you know, I saw something and I shared it on social media yesterday. I saw it from Alibaba, you know, and it was like, people will believe a certain story that they hear about you.
Yeah, they will.
Even if it's not true. Because that's what they want it to be.
That's they want it to be, not because really, that thing, you know, the thing that amazes me is about how you hear something, you start acting out towards me.
Yeah.
And then
you're not going to ask me,
you know,
this is what they
later,
said.
You're not asking me that this is what I heard. Why didn't you ask me?
You know?
I'm sorry. I cannot.
So it's the same way you react when you hear one pastor did something, or one actor did something, or one singer did something.
Let's confirm.
It's because you want it to be true. That's why you're reacting that way.
It's a very, very funny thing. But anyway, we definitely will stay on that story. And let's move on to a little bit of sports. Now, the interesting thing that is happening in the world of sports, before we go there, is latest FIFA rankings is out, and the Super Eagles are still the 42nd best team in the world. Not very wonderful, but just wanted to put it out there. Now, there's the real gist that is really happening in the world of sports is that a court in Europe has now said that FIFA and UEFA has erred when they blocked the approval for the Super League. Remember the issue of the Super League and how some people, some teams European teams decided they wanted the Super League.
They were even fined and all of that.
They were fined, and they were more threatened and all that. But now the club, the court is saying that they had no right to do all the things they were doing.
It's a massive decision by the European courts, because FIFA and UEFA, they are the custodians of the game. And this, I like to use the word cartel at this point in time, are two of the most powerful bodies anywhere in the world, even beyond sports. They wield so much power that if you step out of line and they step on your matter, game over. So it's good that the courts have spoken, because the clubs that were behind it have actually gotten a new consultant, and they're talking about how they want to make the games free for the fans, and that the clubs will make some money and all of that. Look, the owners of the clubs, there's no football without the owners of the club and without the fans.
Fans, yeah.
There's no football. So FIFA should always look for a way to allow other people, but of course it's a lie. They've held this